Well, the last track on Real Man is Die in My Arm. Arm, not arms. Die in My Arm. And Die in My Arm was originally a song that I wrote in the 80s for a record I did with my buddy Mark Lee. And he went on to be in the incredible Maggie's Farm. And I wrote this song, and it was this glam rock manifesto of noise and madness. It was really cool. And then years later, it was just sitting there when I was putting together Real Man. I was getting all into how I take all these songs I'd written and rewriting them for the record so I could update them and use these songs. But I had no place for Die in My Arm, and then a friend of mine came to me for counsel because his daughter was in a really abusive relationship, and I saw how much it was breaking his heart. And then I went, there you go, that's the song, And I wrote a song about you know, you're supposed to be able to die in my arm and not die from it, you know, from me beating you. And a song about a woman who really needed to get that she was important and she was special, and in the eyes of God she was created for a purpose other than getting stuck at home with a slob who hated her and hated their kids and you know, slapped her around, and again, you know, revisited the themes that were in Sleeping with the Light. And in my first few records, I always closed the record with a big long production number, or had on the record a big production number, like on you know, for me, Human Love was huge at the time, and Itch had Liberty, and Does God Sleep had Does God Sleep, and Real Man has Die in My Arm, and it's like the best part of the record. It cranks, and at the end of it I said, Guy, I just need something at the end. I really want it to go on really long, and I need something at the end. And I grabbed Weston's Bible, and I just looked up something, and I found all the scriptures that I use at the end of it. They're all in Revelation, and they're all pretty close together in Revelation. And you know, it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. You know, if anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and dine with him and he with me. And I just love the part that says, I will make the synagogue of Satan worship at your feet to know that I love you. It's really in the Bible. And it's really saying, I'm just really sick of the way people treat you, and there will come a day where I will make them get on their knees and not only bow down to me, but bow down to you. I love that. I was like, hot double dang. And I just thought, you know, as a product of abuse, as someone who's been abusive and someone who's witnessed way too much abuse, to just attack it head on and say, you know what? We need to just really get that God sees all this and God can't stand it. And His Word addresses the abuse of His people over and over again. And you know, it was interesting to, you know, create a record that had two songs that were empowering to women. And again, now I can check that box. I covered that in my body of work. To address it, and I don't know if that will ever come back. I don't know if I'm ever going to see these songs again. I love Die in My Arm. I've tried to do it a couple times in my newer song cycles. It just isn't quite the fit right now, but really one of my favorite songs that I recorded, especially because of the massive amount of scripture at the end of it. I just think it says so much. It's like a battering ram from heaven.